Hey everybody, welcome. It's all about the prison plex. Hey, I want to talk about a couple of dudes, and because look, this is lately. There's a lot of there's some court cases right now going on in the courts about felons with firearms. They're not supposed to take nobody's firearms, y'all. They take the felons first, and they're coming for everybody else's. But the thing is they they make you have this picture, felon. A lot of these dudes are just political. You hear me? They're not going to conform like a lot of you people do. You want to conform, you'll do what they tell you because they dress it up real nice and you believe them. That's cool. Most people do. But a lot of men that I know and the way I used to be before God changed me, I wouldn't conform either. That's just the way it was. So, hey, but look, there was these two dudes, and like I say, these were some good guys, man. They were patriots, true Americans. And I'm not talking about true to those idiots that run our country. No, I'm talking about just like me. They loved Americans, other Americans, those workers, people that get things done around here, not them people, them fools in Washington. That's not who I'm talking about. I won't fight for them ever. I'll fight for you, for these people that live around me, but never for those fools. That's sleeping with the enemy in my book, okay? Anyway, so there was a couple other guys, and like I say, these were good dudes, but they wouldn't conform. Just because they had a felony, doors were getting shut in their faces, no jobs. Hey, that's okay. We will survive. There's ways to make money out there. And that's what they were doing. They were armed robbers. The main dude was Randy Dodd. Okay, look, James Dodd, and he, he had various crime partners, but he was the main one. He was a hustler. They were armed robbers, but this was his hustle. He went into a restaurant during operating hours when they were full, preferably, and rob them. And he would get everybody's wallets, purses, and the safe and all that. Take over. Okay? They take over. All right. So he'd done a couple now. Somebody had told on him. See, they used to score heroin off us, me and my uncles. The trap houses. That's how I knew him. My dad was cool with him. Oh, Dodd. My dad was. They were all right. They talked, and because my dad sold heroin too. Before he got saved and clean, he sold heroin for my uncle. So he knew Dodd before me, and he was a little bitty dude. You hear me? He was about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 150 pounds, 160 pounds. You hear me? But he knew how to handle weapons. He's a good shot. Anyway, so somebody had told on him or something because they were watching him. You hear me? Well, maybe not, because see, he was a heroin addict. So a dude that used to hang around with him had overdosed. Okay, he died. Well, that dude's father was a Fort Worth police officer. Okay, and he was somebody. He was a lieutenant in some task force or something. So let me tell you something. When his son died, he knew who he was hanging with. He knew he knew. So in his mind, he blamed Dodd. End of story. Okay, so lo and behold, when there's a task force assigned following Dodd around because they know he's hitting these licks, he's hitting these robberies, right? So they're following him around, and they think he's just scoping the joint out, that he's just casing it out. And then all of a sudden, they say he pulls the mask on, goes in the store. It's a pizza in it, something. And they start the robbery. Well, these cops wait until the dudes have done their dirt and they're coming out. You hear me? And as soon as they step out the door, man, they kill him. Okay. One's killed at the front door, and then I think it's Dodd takes off running through the back, and when he comes out, they kill him. Well, that guy that overdosed, Dodd's friend, crime partner that overdosed on heroin and died, and his dad was a lieutenant with Fort Worth PD. His dad was there. He was in on the killing. He killed Dodd. You hear me? He got revenge for his son. They dress it up any way they want and say what they want. But that dude killed him for killing his son. Hey, brother, more power to you. I know the feeling. Trust me. Trust me. It's okay. You know, you did what you felt you had to do. Hey, man, I feel you. Ain't nobody judging you. You know, you'll pay for yours just like everybody else. Everybody has to pay the piper. Okay. But, yeah, man, they killed both them dudes. They didn't give them a chance to surrender. You hear me? None of that. As soon as they came out, because they were armed and they knew they'd probably shoot it out. So they already had their stories ready, man. As soon as they came out and they had a shot, they were taking, and they did, you know. So you got to be careful who you get high with, because if the wrong person dies around you, you never know. I've had a few people die around me, but I brought them back to life. You hear me? Well, you know what I mean. I gave them CPR and they came back. So, and really, to be honest, at that time, you know, I was addicted too, and I just tried because I didn't want to be involved in their death. You know, it wasn't like I was trying to save them just because, you know, they're the salt of the earth and the world needs them. No, the world probably would have been better off without them, and me too. But I didn't want to get implicated in nothing. It was for selfish motives, y'all. No surprise there, right? But Dodd was a heroin addict, and he had to have it. And armed robberies, that's cash money, cash on the barrel. You know, hey, like I say, I don't judge anybody, because he's a political prisoner just like I was. Ooh, you get a felony, can't have no job, you can't have a gun. Okay, whatever. But the time's coming, because they're going to attack us. They're coming. Doesn't matter what you think or what you believe. They're coming. And they're going to want felons to have firearms. Well, you had your chance to restore my rights and you wouldn't do it. So you'll be okay without me, you know. No, hey, but like I say, that was a straight up murder there, but police can get away with that one. They can do that, you know. All right, y'all, I'm gonna up it, and I'm gonna talk about two other brothers, Espinosas from Fort Worth. Some more armed robbers, you know, armored cars, and anyways, I knew them real good personally. All right, y'all, hit me up, share and like, please.